Hey there, this is Elizabeth, the teaching artist for the Timken Museum of Art, with another art tutorial for you. Today we're going to be focusing on the proportions of the face. The hardest part of drawing a realistic portrait is drawing the structure and the features of the face in proportion to one another, meaning the right size and in the right location of the head. Artists all use different approaches to achieve this end, like you are seeing in these slides. I'm going to be taking you through a series of steps that will give you a foundation for understanding the proportions of the face so that the next time you want to draw a portrait, you'll have some tools to work with. But before we start, I need to tell you the tools that you need today. Just a paper, pencil, and a ruler. And here's what we're going to be drawing today. We're creating a male portrait that will teach you about the general rules for proportion. You can apply these principles to any person you want to draw. We all look very different, but we share the same basic structure. All right, let's begin. The first thing you're going to do is turn your paper landscape, and you're going to draw a circle in the upper half of the paper. After you draw that circle, you're going to bisect it horizontally and vertically. For the next step, you're going to use your pencil as a measuring tool. I want you to put the point of the pencil at the halfway line and measure down to the bottom of the circle with your fingers. Transfer that measurement from the bottom of the circle down and make a mark. This is going to be your chin. Now we're drawing the sides of the face and the jawline. Next, I just want you to erase away any of the marks you don't need and redraw that center line. Next, find the halfway point between the top of the head and the chin and draw a line. This will be where your eyes go. After that, I want you to find the halfway point between the eye line and the chin and draw a shorter line there. This will be where the bottom of the nose is. Place another line between the bottom of the nose and the chin. This is where the bottom of the mouth will go. Then move to the upper half of the head and draw a line halfway between the top of the head and the eye line. Then you're going to draw another halfway mark from the mark you just made to the top of the head. These lines tell us where we need to place each of the different features of the face and the hairline. Next, we're going to figure out how wide the eyes need to be drawn. A face is 5 eye widths across, so we need to break the eye line into 5 equal segments. Use the segments you have just drawn as a guide to draw your eyes. The upper eyelid will be similar to a trapezoid, and the bottom lid will be a half circle. Pay attention to how I have drawn the half circle very near to the eye line. A male's eyes will be more square than a female's. Next, we're going to move to the nose. I need you to draw a line down from the corner of the eye down to that nose line. That'll be the width of your nose. In the center, draw a light circle for the point of the nose, and then 2 half circles on either side. Those half circles will meet those lines that you've dropped down from the corner of the eye. After that, you're going to create these flat M curve shapes underneath. Now draw a triangle with the top point meeting the center of the nose, and then the bottom of the triangle lining up with the mouth. Next, I need you to draw a line down from the center of the eyes down to where the mouth is. You won't angle the line to the mouth, you'll drop it straight down, but just stop it where the mouth line would be. After that, you're going to add another one of those flat M shapes, and it's going to take up the space across the upper third of the triangle. Next, you're going to draw a line from one side of the lines dropped down from the center of the eye to the other. Make it a little bit curved. We're going to do another one of those flat M curves across to make the opening of the mouth. After that, you're going to add little upside down triangles to indicate the corners of the mouth. Now for the bottom lip, you're just going to create a happy face shape curved up and then shade underneath it to meet at the bottom of that triangle. So the bottom of the triangle is the bottom of the lips. After that, you're going to connect the upper M shape to the corner of the mouth, and then you're going to indicate the lower lips connected from the corner of the mouth to the center of the mouth. Use really light lines in all of this. There's a lot of erasing that needs to be done, and especially with the mouth, because the mouth is so soft, you don't want any hard lines. You really don't want any hard lines in any part of the face. There are no hard lines on faces. So what I'm doing now is I'm shading in the upper lip. The upper lip will be shaded. The lower lip is what catches the light, so we shade underneath it because it sticks out further than the upper lip. Now I'm just finishing off the lips, keeping a really soft touch. Next, create a curve at the bottom of the shadow underneath the lip to create a chin. Now we're coming up to the eyes. We're creating eyebrows. They're going to be squarish and kind of bushy because they're male eyebrows. So if it were a female eyebrow, they would be more shaped, whereas a male eyebrow will just be a little bit more straight across and boxy. So just block those in and shade them. After that, I'm going to show you how to make these eyes, the inside of the eyes. I want you to draw the white of the eye, not the circle, not the iris, not the colored part of the eye. I want you to draw the white of the eye, and by default, you will get the colored part of the eye. After that, you're going to add eyelids. You're going to put a line straight across. It's basically going to follow the contour of the eye. So I start off with just the top and off to the left and right of the eye, and then I add little indications towards the corner of the eye for the upper eyelid. It starts to disappear towards the corner of the eye. Next, you're going to do the pupils. Make the pupils feel like they're coming out from underneath the upper eyelid. Don't make a circle in the center of the eye. After you draw it, I want you to draw another circle on top of it, overlapping the pupil for the highlight. Then you will shade in the upper eyelid and the pupil, making sure to leave that circle you created for the highlight white. That's how it's going to read as a highlight, as if it stays white. After you color in the pupil and add a little darkness to the upper eyelid, you'll shade in the rest of the eye. Just don't make it darker than the pupil. The pupil will be the darkest value in the eye. Next, we're going to go for the ears. I want you to draw these curved, oval, angled shapes. They're going to start at the eye line and they're going to end at the nose line. Keep them rather close to the head and then add the creases that I'm drawing here. Just keep it soft. It does not need to be highly detailed. All right, now we're going for the hair. When you draw hair, you do not draw individual strands of hair. You draw shapes that indicate the whole mass of the hair. And then later on, like way later on, you can get into details of individual hairs. But initially, you will want to draw the basic shapes of the hair or hairstyle you are going for. But for now, we're going to move down to the neck and we'll come back up and shade the hair. Just give me 2 lines coming out from underneath the jawline. Make sure it's somewhat wide so it looks like a male neck. Then I want you to erase away anything that you don't need anymore. All right, we're getting close to the finish line. What we're going to do now is go through the face and see where we can get darker, where we can get more detailed, and where we can get more refined, which means redrawing a little bit. So I darkened the pupils, I added a little darkness in the nostrils, I darkened the opening of the mouth, I added a little more shadow underneath the lower lip, I added a little bit of shadowing in the corners of the eyes and in the space above the eyelid and the eyebrow. And of course, I also colored in all of the hair. Notice that the top of the hair is a little bit lighter because we're assuming a little light is bouncing off the top of his head. And then the left side of the face has a little bit of shading. This is not a shading tutorial. It's more about how to create a proportional portrait for the future. But just to add a little bit to make the drawing feel a little bit more finished, add little bits on the side of the nose, underneath the lower lip, up where the hair would be creating shadows on the forehead and the eye, into the eye sockets. If you need to do any refining of your drawing, I redrew that ear completely on the right because I realized it was too close into the rest of the face, so I had to redraw it quickly. And then the rest of it is just going to be by feel. The most important thing to learn today is how to structure a face to create a proportional drawing. All right, you've made it. You made it to the end of the tutorial. Hopefully you've learned something. This one is definitely more challenging, so I applaud you for trying. Thank you so much for taking the time to be creative today. Be safe and be well.